Good afternoon, Chaos. This is Kelatos with another roster review. This time for a long-standing member of Legions of Chaos, Mr. or Miss Eden. Has been with Chaos for a long time and fairly recently has received a promotion to officer. Been a great help in Legions, getting people organized, getting people set, and really stepped in with a lot of our Titans. Kind of merged with Legacy to get them heroic ready. So really excited to help out Eden with this and kind of give him some advice, in my opinion, about where to kind of focus some effort and get that guidance. And we see, first of all, my favorite arena team right now with an Emperor Palpatine, Darth Sion, Darth Vader, Darth Nihilus, and Grand Admiral Thrawn, sometimes referred to as the Nightmare Team. And Eden, I would strongly recommend getting a Zeta on Sion as quickly as possible. Works amazing in Arena, and that one ability alone will keep you from getting knocked out of the top 35, top 50. If you ever are. It's a game changer for Arena. And Zeta on Darth Nihilus Unique is not bad either, but you didn't ask for a whole lot of advice with your Arena team. You asked me to help you kind of focus on, again, some heroic Sith teams. So I went through your roster, kind of looking through what you got, and kind of what you could put together, and see what kind of damage you do. As I'm recording this, you just recently got, I believe, 6 million in the Sith raid, which is awesome. Glad to see you were able to hit that hard. So perhaps my feedback is not going to be super useful for you. So we'll just kind of give it a try and look. So let's just jump right in. And the first thing I looked for, which a lot of people are looking for, is Jedi Training Rey. And I believe you do not have Jedi Training Rey now, which is what it is. And then I looked to see how your vets are looking. Smuggler Han and Smuggler Chewbacca. Both of them at 5-star. Now, unless something drastic happens, and or Capital Games doesn't follow the timeline that they've said they were going to follow, you probably won't be getting Rey Jedi training this next time around. So we can kind of ignore Phase 1 teams for you right now and go straight into Phase 2. Now, Phase 2 is where a lot of people can get a lot of little damage or a lot of decent damage without hitting those super big numbers that Rey can. So I looked through your roster and found really 3 or 4 teams I think you could work on. Now, the first team is using a lot from your Arena team, and this is a team that has really been suggested by a lot in the community, and I think you would be best served with it. And that would be an Emperor Palpatine lead with Darth Vader, Shore Trooper, Grand Moff Tarkin, and a Darth Nihilus. Now for this group, Emperor Palpatine's Zeta on his Crackling Doom not needed, though it is recommended. Darth Vader's Zeta on No Escape, not super necessary. I probably wouldn't do it, but we'll just see how well your Vader is surviving. Grand Moff Tarkin possibly could use a Zeta on his Unique, because I believe his Unique gives something with potency, because you're going to want to stack as much potency as possible on Grand Moff Tarkin, because his special intimidation tactics, his special ultimate firepower, it increases as his potency increases. So you want speed and potency so that he can get his basic off as often as possible. because that's going to stack his potency, which will in turn increase the damage of his ultimate firepower. And I believe Callous Convictions Zeta or Omega, whichever it is, does continue to give him more benefit from potency. So you definitely want to get that there. But the Zeta on Tighten the Grip, don't even worry about it. It's not used anywhere. He is far from the best Empire leader, so don't even worry about that Zeta unless you really, really like the Empire. Short Trooper, you're definitely going to need some more gear on, because he is fairly easy to kill at this level. Gear 10, and if he's the only tank in that group, he definitely needs to be geared. And I would mod him for all health and speed, because you want him to go as fast as possible, because he will be your main healer for the group as well as the main tank. So definitely want to get some gear on him. Your second group that I've looked at is oh, excuse me. Again, ironically enough, a Jedi group, because you've got some fairly decent Jedi. Though to really use this group, you would need a Zeta on Qui-Gon Jinn's lead. But if you used Qui-Gon Jinn with Ezra, Barriss Offee, Ahsoka Tano, and General Kenobi, you could get a pretty decent group. 500,000 to 1 million. I stick with 500,000. And you would want to switch into using Obi-Wan Kenobi instead of General Kenobi whenever you could get around to it, because you're going to want to use General Kenobi in place of somebody else in your next group, which is, you know, what some are calling the Machine Gun Leia group. Now, your Admiral Ackbar is gear 12, so it'd be a great lead for this Machine Gun Leia. And you would use Princess Leia along with Admiral Ackbar, Sabine Wren, who you have at gear 11. You would also use, since you're not using General Kenobi, you could use Baze Malbus in this group, because you're really not going to be needing Baze in a clone group for phase 4, so definitely could use him in this group, though General Kenobi is the best option, because you don't want Baze to be called to assist, so you want somebody that's not a rebel. And this group would really need a healer of some kind. Now obviously your best 2 healers, or 3 healers, are Barriss, Oldaka, and Talia. So they're all 3 spoken for in other groups. So you could use Ewok Elder in this group. He's not too bad. I've heard Jedi Consular is not too bad of a healer, but I would probably go with Ewok Elder, because if you do feel like building an Ewok team, he could fit there. And he is one of the few that can revive just about anybody. So I would use Ewok Elder in that Machine Gun Leia group of yours. So those would be 2 or 3 phase 3 teams for you. Machine Gun Leia, Jedi, and Empire. With that said, we can move on to your phase 3 teams, which, you know, you've got that ever-present Chex Mix with Commander Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Chirrut Imwe, Pow, and Death Trooper. Now this group is pretty good to go as it is. You could use a little bit of gear on Chirrut, but I don't think it's necessary. And you just have to make sure that your Death Trooper is good to go, which he is at gear 12. So you could run a full Chex Mix and not add any more gear to them. So you can go ahead and head that way. Or you could finish gearing up your Troopers and use Troopers in phase 3. Totally up to you, especially since you have that General Veers. Otherwise, you could use them in phase 2 and make a 4th phase 2 group and throw Grand Admiral Thrawn into the mix with them. So you'd run a General Veers lead with Grand Admiral Thrawn, Colonel Stark, Snowtrooper, and Shore Trooper. And in that case, you would want to throw Stormtrooper in with the Emperor Palpatine group. So that Stormtrooper can use his Irresistible Expose more often. So just a couple of ideas for you. And then your Phase 4 group, the best one is by far your Night Sisters. We see you've got the OG squad going with a double Zeta Asajj Ventress, Old Daka, Talia, Night Sister Acolyte, and Night Sister Initiate. Hopefully you're getting close to Mother Talzin, getting her to 6-star so you can work on 7-star, and I believe she would be a good choice to sub in for Night Sister Initiate. So you'd run Asajj, Daka, Talia, Acolyte, and Talzin. Would be a pretty solid Phase 4 group for you. Now, since those groups I mentioned are fairly good to go, you could start working on First Order, though they're a long way off. Or you could start working on Clone Troopers, who are also a long way off. So the next group probably could be Bounty Hunters. See how they do, though Bossk isn't farmable yet and your Dengar is not super high. But you could definitely work on Greedo, IG-88, and Boba Fett, and possibly start gearing out Bossk. Your Ewoks are very far from done, so I wouldn't worry about them. But it looks like possibly the next group for you could be Phoenix. Now, I know they are a pain in the butt to gear, but you could gear up the rest of your Phoenix squad, take Sabine from the Machine Gun Leia group, take Ezra out of the Jedi group, and these guys could do all the damage you need in Phase 2. Like, I've seen them capable of upwards of 3 million damage. So that's probably the next group I would focus on, because you need a lot of shards to get any other team close to ready. Like, this group would need Chief Chirpa and Wicket. Your Clone Troopers would definitely need Echo and Clone Sergeant up to 7-star. Your Bounty Hunters would need Bossk or Dengar up to 7-star. So really, yeah, Phoenix is your best bet here. Especially since you're probably not going to get Rey Jedi training this next group. And your Sith could be decent. You could get together another group with these guys, but I see you don't even have Sith Trooper unlocked. So you'd really have to hit the farm hard with Scion, and maybe use like a Darth Nihilus, Darth Scion, Darth Maul, Savage Opress, Sith Assassin group. You could cannibalize your other Empire group and get a Zeta on Darth Sidious and run Darth Vader, Darth Sidious, a Sith Trooper who you don't have unlocked yet. So really, it's going to be a matter of just picking Ewoks, Sith, Ewoks, Sith, or clones, or First Order, and start farming the newest guys there. Or do all of that while you're gearing Phoenix, so that your Phoenix is ready to go while you're building up the shards for the other groups. It's up to you, because you're really a long ways off from getting any other teams ready to go. So you really just got to pick which one you want to do and go for it. I think the easiest one at this point would be Phoenix, and they have the highest cap on damage. But of the groups that I've mentioned, the easiest one to farm up would be your First Order, because Kylo Ren Unmasked and First Order Executioner are super quick farms out of the Cantina store. Granted, First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter pilot could take a while to farm out of the guild store. He's still going to be quicker than your Ewoks, where you're going to be farming Wicket on one hard node. They're going to be faster than farming your Sith, where Sith Marauder, Sith Trooper, and Darth Scion and Sith Assassin are all on one node, very difficult ones. So yeah, I would start the slow grind on one of those groups while you're gearing out your Phoenix. And then once your Phoenix is done, you should be getting close to maxed on another group as far as characters, and you can start working on them. So hopefully I've given you some ideas that you can use, again, to teams that I think you're working on in Phase 2. A primarily Empire team with Emperor Palpatine, Darth Vader, Grand Moff Tarkin, Shore Trooper, and Darth Nihilus. You also currently have a Jedi team you could be using with Qui-Gon Jinn if you gave him a Zeta, General Kenobi, Ezra Bridger, Barriss Offee, and Ahsoka Tano. And then your Machine Gun Leia group with Admiral Akbar, Princess Leia, Sabine, Stormtrooper Han or Baze Malbus, probably Baze, and then a healer, Jedi Consular, Luminara, somebody else that can heal. And then your Phase 3 group, which will be straight up Chex Mix. You're ready to go, they don't need any more gear. Commander Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Trooper Imwe, Pow, and Death Trooper. And then your Phase 4 Night Sisters, who you probably already know way more about than I do, because you already have a double Zeta on Asajj Ventress, her Gear 12, Wildaka Gear 12, and Talia, Night Sister Acolyte, and Night Sister Initiate. I would definitely farm Mother Talzin before you start working on any other groups, so that she can get in there and start throwing her plague into the mix. Now, that's a lot. Hopefully it helps. I really like the focus you've got in your group, Eden. No wasted space here. Like, I looked at all of your groups and really all of your top geared guys we've got, with the single exception being Kylo Ren and or Darth Maul. So, I mean, it is what it is, but the rest of your guys here have a pretty good use in this raid. So good luck in using them and making the most out of what you got. So best of luck to you, Eden, and to Chaos and everybody else. Good night and good luck.